Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and as we do every single expansion after a little bit, you know, we've normally talked about what's breaking the game, what the best stuff is in Perils, in Paradise, or whatever the expansion is. I like to go into HS Replay, look at some card statistics, sort through Diamond through Legend, and take a look at what the worst performing cards are. We go by deck win rate, you can go by play win rate, whatever. We just use deck win rate. We just do that. It doesn't mean it's the worst of the worst. It's just the worst in that category. So we're gonna go take a look at what the 10 worst performing cards so far. Will they get buffed? A lot of these cards we end up talking about get buffed, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps us out a lot as we're on the road to 85,000 subscribers. Starting off with the 10th worst card of the expansion so far, it is the Warrior card, and you're gonna note a theme. There's a lot of Warrior on here, and it's a monstrosity. The 9 mana, 6/9 taunt, nice, which has at the end of your turn, summon an elemental with stats equal to this minion's. It's also an elemental. It is in 0.5% of decks, has a deck win rate of 35.5%, and has been played 2,300 times. I wonder if that factors in all these sandwiches it might have baked. And speaking of sandwiches, we might see some more of that common theme going along. But yeah, overall, 9 mana. Playing a 9 mana card in today's Hearthstone, pretty much impossible. But why am I playing a 9 mana monstrosity or cheating it out when I can play Zilliax, right? Like, this card is completely pointless when everyone's just playing the virus Zilliax and bringing it back over and over as your only taunt. And yeah, there's this kind of a common theme with some of these cards that Zilliax is rendered useless, and as a result, it is the 10th worst card. At number 9, is that me? No, that guy's jacked. That is the Service Ace, a 3 mana paladin minion. After this minion gains attack, reduce the cost of the highest cost card in your hand by 1. He is in 0.2% of decks, has a deck win rate of 35.4%, and has been played all of 1,300 times. So I guess the idea is to discount, you know, something big. Maybe you're playing this in Mage, since you can access paladin cards and discount your Sith. But overall, it's pretty clunky, right? It only works really well with the 1 mana drink in Paladin. And it's just like, if I'm playing that already, I'm playing the Concierge, which already cheats like infinite mana with that. Why do I need Service Ace? What am I really accomplishing with that? And yeah, right now we haven't really found a real need for it. And as a result, it is number 9 on the list. At number 8, we have a rogue card, the Conniving Conman, a 4 mana 4/4 pirate, which is Battle Cry. Replay the last card you've played from another class. It is in 0.4% of decks, has a deck win rate of 34.7%, and is the most played card on this list at 2,800 times. Pretty cool, like, burgle rogue concept for a card. And as a paladin, you can play it, although I kind of wish it said replay the last card you played from like a non-rogue card, because when you're playing paladin, you can't replay your paladin cards. You can replay rogue cards, but kind of harder to abuse, I guess. Maybe be broken that way. Maybe that's why they did it. But yeah, like, you're not consistently cheating out good stuff in either class right now. And, you know, you don't get a battle cry from this. You'll either get like a random spell or like just a body on the board. And overall, it's not really worth building around. And it's funny because, like, Excavate Rogue is really good. It's playing random crap from other classes all the time, but I don't really want to be, you know, replaying it with Conniving Conman. It's not worth it. At number 7, I think to the shock of absolutely nobody, maybe you guys would expect this to be higher on the list, I certainly was, is Announce Darkness, the 2 mana Warlock epic spell, which is a shadow spell, which replaces your hero power and non-warlock cards with warlock ones that cost 1 less. It's in 0.1% of decks, has a deck win rate of 34.5%, and kind of shockingly, only played 700 times. Again, this is HS replay numbers through Diamond through Legend. Definitely not, the whole Hearthstone population. But yeah, I thought as a meme card, people might want to try it out a bit more. But overall, you kind of got to play it in Rogue, the classic and Access Warlock cards, because it's just easier to manipulate that. Plus, you get Life Tap as a Rogue, which is pretty good. But achievement hunting with this card, it was a struggle. I think I won one game in 11 or 12 games it took me to complete the achievement for this card. And yeah, it's pure random nonsense. It's not consistent. It's just random crap, and you can't get random Titans, and that kind of hurts and things like that. So overall, yeah, not a great card, but again, I don't think we were expecting it to be. At number 6, we have the neutral Scrap Booking Student, which is a 5-mana 5/5 with Battle Cry. Summon a copy of a friendly location. It is in 0.1% of decks, has a 34.3% deck win rate, and has been played 860 times. What locations are really good right now? You got the Deathlight one's amazing, right? That's an awesome location. And to copy that, you got to play a 5-mana 5/5, and you probably already used a couple of uses, because usually when you play a location, you want to use it. So the value on this card goes down significantly. I think I saw Clark memeing it up, copying Prison of Yogg-Saron. But again, it's not worth doing. And as a result, yeah, the card's a bit of a meme. It's some location value if you want, but that's not really something you're trying to do in Hearthstone, unless there's some really, really broken location, and that just isn't there quite yet. At number 5, we have a really just bad card, a neutral card, the Cryopractor, a 3-mana 3/3 neutral minion. Battle Cry, you give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. Is in 0.1% of decks. 0.01, even less than that. 34.3% deck win rate, played at 97 times. So basically no sample size on this card. It's nobody plays this card, and it's like Cryostasis, but on a minion. And Cryostasis was terrible. It saw basically no play back in the day. Yeah, you get it all minion, and you can brand it or Shadow Step it. Ooh my, Shadow Step it, then Sonya. This is one, you get more, and then you lose even harder because it's frozen. If you want to buff your own stuff, it's frozen, and if you want to unfreeze it, you got to silence it, which loses the buff. It's just doesn't make a lot of sense. And yes, the card is pretty bad. At number 4, this is where things get sad. This is where you start seeing that people really want to make Sandwich Warrior work, and it's not working, because all of the top 4 cards are Sandwich Warrior cards. Starting off with probably, I guess the best one here, a Draconic Delicacy, the 8-mana 6/6 Warrior Dragon. It has Rush, it has Elusive, and it can only take 1 damage at a time. It is at 0.3% of decks, has a deck win rate of 33.1%, and has been played 1,300 times. This is one of the best cards to Ride Cleaver, cheat this out and get it on the board in Arena. It's a menace. This card's super good, although not enough to elevate Warrior to be great, because even there, it's 8 mana. It's 1 minion that it can tack once and kill one thing in today's game, and it gets cleared by hard removal, not necessarily you just destroy a minion, right, or a board clear. The damage is nice that it can take those bumps. Hand buffs are there, but you're playing Sandwich Warrior and stuff, you're not really hand buffing. And yeah, sadly, this card not quite there yet. I love the design. I think it's a really nice looking card, but overall, yeah, again, it's just sadly not making the cut. And oh my god, I make another appearance on the list. At number 3, we have the Beached Whale, a 7-mana 420 Taunt Beast. Battle Cry, you deal 10 damage to this minion. It is at 0.4% of decks. It has a deck win rate of 32.9%, and it has been played 2,000 times. Again, same thing as all the other Sandwich Warrior cards. The issue with this one, it feels a lot worse to play from in hand. A 7-mana 4/10 Taunt, which shouldn't be that bad, but it is. isn't that great. Although if you'd get this off the mismatched fossils or whatever, and did this in arena, that could be really good. Make your swarm guard go wide. But overall, yeah, the card not making it, and sadly, Wales just can't win, it seems like, as we see this guy in Hearthstone. He wails out. Can he ever win? Well, if he uploads only the wins on YouTube, it sure seems pretty good. At number 2, we have a card that's not really in Sandwich Warrior, but it's a warrior card, and it is Food Fight, the 3-mana epic spell. You summon a 0/6 entree for your opponent. When it dies, you summon a minion from your deck. It is a 0.1% of decks. It has a deck win rate of 31.7% and has been played 1,200 times. If you're playing this card, you can only play minions like a beached whale or something huge that's worth getting out. You also need the removal spell to destroy that 0/6 to cheat it out, and that needs to be good enough that you can win games because you're building your deck so hard around this. It's atrocious. It's terrible. Without something like a Rattlegore, but better, I don't ever see how this card will be anything other than one of the worst cards of the expansion. And at number 1, this breaks my heart. I knew it wouldn't be good. I figured it wouldn't be, but I didn't think it would be this bad. And yes, at number 1, we talked a lot about Sandwich Warrior. What card better to talk about than the Rye Cleaver, the 7-mana warrior legendary weapon, battle cry and death rattle. Get a slice of bread, get 2 to sandwich any minions in between. Basically, yeah, you play it, you got a piece of bread in your hand, you put some minions in between it, like drawing, especially like the 3-mana spell. You then swing and break the weapon. You get that sandwich, it's 2 mana, summon all those minions. Yes, that's a lot of work. And you're playing 7 mana, 4 damage, and you can get weapon removed, you can get frozen, and it doesn't necessarily win you the game. And again, when you could just cheat out Zilliax and bring that back over and over, why am I playing the Rye Cleaver? And the stats on it: 0.3% of decks, 31.4% deck win rate, and played 2,000 times. It's a shame. I don't think this card should be like hyper competitive. It's not really supposed to be like that. If this is a very strong competitive card, it's gonna be pretty frustrating to have that mana cheat scam on you all the time. But it's so bad that it's underperforming compared to basically every other card of the expansion. And I am very curious to see, of these cards, what will get buffed, if any. Like, what do you guys think? What do you think? Does the Rye Cleaver deserve a buff? Do we make it 6? I don't know what else we're gonna do. You make it 6? I don't think you make it 5, because then we're going all Luna's Pocket Galaxy. That might be dangerous, but who knows? Maybe they'll leave it alone. Maybe they'll buff the beached whale, but you can't ruin those 420 stats. Just like the monstrosity, you can't ruin the 6/9 stats. You gotta leave that alone. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think of these cards. Which makes you sad? Which do you think might pop up in the future as a real powerhouse? And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.